Come on, guys.
Split the difference
Get
on
the
that
starts.
DMP? Share with the contractor?
I don't know. So stretch up, and then we're going to go left.
No way would you share.
Left. I'm going to go right. Your hands on your back. Go back.
Isn't that the point of a GM?
And all right, there we go.
Guaranteed maximum price, but operate under a cost plus actual contract.
All right. Let's get a blank sheet of paper out.
That's where you split the difference with the contractor.
That last little discussion we had from the last time we had a sort of a break, sort of top 3 BFOs or learnings from that. Top 3 BFOs or learnings from that.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
That last little half morning, the last sessions of the morning, what top 3 learnings or BFOs that you got from that? The last little discussions we've had.
Know what your ideal client looks like. Know how to target them.
Or write them down so you can remember this stuff.
Oh, we're writing it down.
Yeah. Then you can tell me. You can tell me while you're writing them if you want. That's fine.
Say,
Yeah.
write and talk.
Write and talk at the same time. I just want you to be able to remember them for yourself, because usually that's the keys to the whole notes at the end of the thing. Is if you go back and read your top 3s, you pretty much got your action plan, right? Is that garbage?
Yeah, I'll get it.
We can take care of that. Yeah. So write them down. Top 3. Did Jerry leave?
Yeah. She's got some stuff she's got to do this afternoon.
Okay.
Pay bills.
Sounds like everybody's got some stuff this afternoon, so we'll looks like we'll probably wrap it up.
Yeah,
And
like another hour.
or if you guys, you know, Smith, if you want to stick around, we can work on some stuff if you want.
Okay.
If you got that's up to you.
Smith, what is it? Remind me again what it is that you do.
He's a builder too.
Builder.
You are, okay. I
He's
thought so when we were having a conversation, but then I couldn't remember.
yeah.
You look like a builder.
Thank you.
I
You
don't.
kind of look like a craftsman.
Beards give credibility as a building trade.
I'm not sure what a builder looks like. I mean, I've seen them look like. I've seen builders look like CPAs. I've seen them look
Is that
like
what you've got there?
No.
they couldn't hardly walk. I've seen them that look like a.
Hippie.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them look like. I'm talking about good builders. You know, look like a golf pro. I've seen them look Malcolm.
Dressed like Smith.
Yeah.
Contracting, because I mean, you can do it that way. You can essentially just say, we'll do contracting, figure the phone cost by now.
Fabric belt.
Yeah, that's right.
A leather belt.
Right.
That's most of the
That's probably. I had a guy tell me one time. I probably should have taken him up on it.
These would hold up to the.
He said I can take anybody and teach them how to make a lot of money being a builder. I need them for about 2 years. He said I can teach them everything they need to know.
Yeah,
Say goodbye.
yeah, more abuse.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years. He said. I said I can show a man how to make money in
It
this.
shouldn't be more comfortable.
He did. He did show a few people. All right, top 3. What do you got? Real quick, just call them out. I think it's helpful to share. We got a small enough group now. We can really dig in.
Well, looking at the referral plan and what Jerry and I were talking about was a sort of sequence upon finishing a project. We send out, when you gave us these things, it's a nice package. First thing we notice, because we're humans, is that we just got a gift, which is the book. The book is not just swaggy info. The book is like, oh, here you go, we got a book. You didn't even have to pay for it. That's okay. But really, for you, the meat and potatoes is giving us those
Gifts.
This is a vehicle, a sort of gift wrapping for those referral cards. But that's what you need to give us so that we can pass those.
I need to make it easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to explain the program.
The book is the reciprocity thing. You get something, you give something. We do this. We appreciate the book. We pass this on for Bill. So we were looking at, it's a little. It comes across as kind of self-serving. If you're like, thanks for the work. Here's a stack of 10 business cards. Please give them to all of your wealthy friends. And so how can we package that up? And we talked about, doing a survey, which we toyed with that, but I think sort of standardizing it. Send the survey out, how do we do? And then that comes back, at which point we could respond to them returning the survey with like a B1G1 thing. But more than anything, like if they have something that they need to get off of their chest about the experience, which we typically have very happy customers, but sometimes there's something,
There's always something.
you know, that someone just wants to be given their voice. And why not give them their voice instead of letting Yelp give them their voice? And then go to them. What that sort of does is vets them. If you know, allows them to get it off their, and then you come back afterwards. You thank them with a B1G1, and then like we have a house profile. Y'all, I don't know if y'all.
Does everybody know what the B1G1 is? It's buy one, give one. It's a
Bring
thing.
one, get
Yeah.
one.
No, it's a, I can go into it. It's a Paul Dunn's thing where you can join and you can give a gift of, you know, a brick in Zambia or something. You know, as a, you know, as for your generosity, we just made a, you know, thanks for, you know, you can do it for anything. Thanks for connecting on LinkedIn. We just bought 20 books for kids in Zambia to have an education or whatever. So it's a systemized way to be able to do that. It's pretty
Well,
good.
I guess the BFO anyway. Maybe I'm just digressing, but the
I think it's. No, I would have stopped you if I thought we were.
the BFO is to
Yeah.
to package it up. Basically, what we're trying to do is, you know, we give them a thank you letter, a survey, and a stack of 5 business cards to pass around to their friends. The business cards is really what they want. We want them to pass around, but the survey comes back to us. If there was a little problem, then we give them the voice to tell us about it, and then typically they feel better about that after.
They feel better about you.
They've been heard, and they feel better about us, and then we come back with the house review request, which can actually come from our profile manager, and you just hit them with that a couple weeks later, and they feel fine because they got to voice their opinion, and they give you a good review. Or if the survey comes back and it's like, this actually was not a positive experience, then don't send them a request. You know, let them tell you that instead of telling Yelp that, and and then let them, don't send them a house review. Make sure they don't get one.
For us, I don't like your idea, but for us, if we could get more on the front end, and getting into a development is hard. It seems like you're always trying to work around the realtor or the realtor. So I've often wondered if it was not a way, like if we know let's apply this to our thought process. If we know we want to be in Blackberry Farms, is there not a way to watch that county's GIS, and when a blank piece of property sells in that development, can we not package something like this and it goes straight to their address wherever they are?
Yeah.
Be on the front end
What?
and cut the realtor
Okay.
straight out of it, because a lot of times these developments is pay to play. It's kickback base, or what do you have to do to help the realtor? And so instead, how do we do that where this goes to
At
the,
least get you in
you
front
know
of it.
they bought a lot in a development that is a blank lot, they need architect and I'm gonna have a builder. So how do we get across that hump to get that?
Yeah, we've been sort of trying
That's a good idea.
to go straight to the builders in those developments, and some to the realtors, you know, the owner of the development or the general.
But then I'm
manager.
still relying on that one person, but I know for sure post office will deliver this to that address that I put on it, if I know where to send it.
Is there a way to get an instant notification when a house is sold or a property is sold in that neighborhood?
Probably not an instant notification, you probably have to check your tax data.
Big deal.
tax records
Yeah.
every month.
Probably gotta go to the courthouse once, you know, if it was in, say, whatever county, wherever, you probably have to go to that courthouse and check and see what.
You might be able to use Zillow and do a safe search feature on recently solds and just keep tabs on that right there, app on your phone.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Just
see, I
smart.
put
don't
it in your
consider that-
calendar to check it once a week or something.
You can get automatic. I get Zillow every day on stuff. Yeah. So
It's chasing to some degree, it's ambulance chasing to some degree, but I'm also targeting my market. I know I'm gonna be in Blackberry Farms, and I know a blank lot just sold there.
Any
They may
develop-
not be my client, but I don't get a chance if I can't get in front of them.
But if you can get that packet to them in 3 days or less from when it's sold, you're really in a good spot.
you can also make up. You can have different packets, guys. You can have your packet, and then you can have your referral packet that you give to to the realtor, the Joe Dellingers of the world, you know, can have the stuff ready for you where you say, this is, you know, you can have a bunch of packets. Here's your packet here. So, all right. This is a good discussion. I want to come back to it because we're not done with the referrals. I want to keep working on, I want to get our referral strategies down. So, what else? I'm sorry. Keep going.
What I was gonna say is all you really want out of a situation like that is a conversation that gets started, but you still want to follow your process of elimination.
Yeah.
Because you may call that person and they may not be your ideal client. So all you're really trying to do, so what we did recently was we sent a letter with some stuff out, and it basically said, hey, here's just here's just something that looks, you know, as our pre-construction process, and I'd like to tell you more about it, and if you don't mind, I'm going to reach out to you in a week or so. So, you know, I sent my reminder, and a week or a week and a half later, I placed some phone calls, right? Hey, I just want to see if you received it. You know, I'd like to meet with you if you're okay with that, talk more about it, right? So I'm still vetting these people out. At the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is I want to see what your construction documents look like so that I can decide whether or not I want to pursue chasing that work, right? Because if I get in there and the construction documents suck, then you know, it's just
You didn't want that job.
Yeah, I don't. That's not necessarily where I want to be.
Yeah, there's a difference in good drawings and bad drawings. Good drawings, if my phone's not ringing, we put out good drawings. If phone's ringing, drawings suck.
It's dramatic.
Yep.
The amount of management you have to do in the field with
the drawings
inferior
suck. The drawings suck,
and that's a price thing.
The drawings, if a phone's ringing, either our drawings suck, or that we don't need to work with that builder. It's a tactic to create chaos and change orders. You get an email that says you want to expose rafter tails, southern yellow pine, Douglas fir, or western red cedar. I said to go ahead and put scab on the western red cedar. We're in that situation right now.
Right. What else? What other BFOs or learnings? That was a good one.
Knowing your ideal client.
No,
Yeah.
who's not.
Yeah. Being able to say no. What did you say you were
The
called?
power of no is an amazing thing.
Yeah, it is.
And I had this guy, a friend of mine.
No, we weren't saying no.
It's an amazing thing because what you do is you spend such little time going down a rabbit hole that you don't belong in. And it opens up all this time and energy to focus on the right rabbit hole to be in. And that is,
And it probably is refreshing.
that's
to
the
say no.
unexpected result of the power of saying
No, we could say it a different way. We could say it.
No, thank you.
We could say, yeah, no, thank you,
That's what I have to tell my child all the time.
or
No, thank you.
or we'll pass. I'm sorry, it's not a good
it's
fit.
a polite and professional
This is not
I'm not a good fit for this situation.
Yeah, that's what I always say. I'm not
Whenever
really.
you do that, then
I'm not. I mean, I've had people call me, and I usually.
Yeah, like
I don't take them as much as I
know
used
a
to.
guy it's actually a better fit for this. I recommend.
I always say that on telemarketing calls. You know, if they call me.
Look at this over here.
Yeah.
Between B and C. And
Yeah.
I only laugh because this one doesn't handle telemarketers well.
There's no difference between.
You can have fun with it. You should have fun with them.
They, a B, and B can be a C.
They use
The
him
only
as-
difference is the B went well, the C didn't go so well. I got more, if you consider B and C as the same project, but I had more time and energy invested in C and it still didn't go well, and it was a struggle through the whole thing, and B was the same project, but it went smoothly, and I have less time, I make more money. B's way more successful than C, but those can be the same animal.
Yeah, absolutely.
They usually are.
Yeah, it's usually some. I mean, essentially, you could have Project A and Project A, so the same project, but Client A and Client B, and Client A's goes well, and Client B's.
Yes.
Yeah, you can have that for sure. You can have that for sure. Other learnings.
I like Smith's follow-up strategy with the review and then the strategic later
Yeah.
on, the house follow-up.
Yeah.
It's like we're in the business that we're in does not rely too heavily on repeat business.
Yet.
Especially in
You're
the
young.
yeah, in the
Just wait.
well, I mean, the referrals are we do a lot of repeat business for like home remodel stuff. but it isn't like,
New home construction, they may stay in 10, 15 years. Or you're
Exactly.
figuring that.
Yeah,
So they're probably not coming back.
yeah, it's like, so what can you do to,
But what we help you get referrals on that end, something I see contractors do that benefits them well, is they stay engaged. And they stay engaged
Sure.
with that particular project and that client. And then if that client moves on and somebody else comes in the house, a lot of times the contractor will still kind of stay engaged.
so that they can
Reason being is that is your advertising, that is your
Yeah.
business card stuck on that street corner.
Yeah,
And if they don't maintain their house well, people driving by assume it wasn't constructed well, they just assume,
Right.
they don't,
So it's worth a drive-by just to go
hey, you need to
Hey,
touch up your paint or work on your gutters or.
tactfully say, your painter
Yeah.
sucks. You need me to, help find you a painter.
yeah.
And that
But
bodes
it's true,
well,
it falls apart. Looks bad on you. Looks bad on us.
that bodes well though, they constantly tell their friends. Their friends say, well, man, my gutter stopped up and having issues with this, and they say, well, my builder's been with me for 15 years, and I don't have those issues. He checks on it, he helps me with my maintenance, kind of gives me
Yeah.
a heads up. So a maintenance program, as simple
Man,
as
that's
that
like
seems.
sticking a business card in your door every 4 months.
Yeah.
And you can make a
dial
tier
in.
with it where it's monthly, every 3 months, every 6 months,
Yeah.
so that you're not.
Even if it's an assessment, you drive by and you spend an hour with them every once a
Well,
year,
yeah, if you
and
can
you write a
dial in that
list of things.
A clients, and then you become friends with them, then it just sort of, it can be as simple as a social visit
Yeah.
that keeps you
Mhm.
fresh on the mind, you know,
But
people.
what if you
give you
tell the,
enthusiastic
told the
referrals.
homeowner that I'll come by once a year and for an hour, take a walk around the house, and you already know the things that the maintenance schedule and everything you've done
Sure.
for them, right? You just kind of you go, hey, here's a list of things that you need to be thinking about. Well, you don't even offer to fix it for them. Just go, here's some things you don't think about. I bet you they call you the next week and go, can you handle this for me? Just go, this is free service.
Yeah. We do a lot of maintenance, follow-up maintenance.
A lot of builders have keys to every house they've
But if
ever
you-
built.
But if you pitch it as you're trying to sell them.
They keep a set of keys in there. Yeah.
To help them maintain the project.
Yeah.
They can use whoever they want. You want them to use you.
When-
People are lazy, they're not gonna call anybody else, they'll call you.
Yeah. When
Not
should?
anybody else.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, just,
I was going to say, when should you ask for referrals? I mean, that's what you're getting at in your system. Is like, when's the right time to ask?
Right.
After it's done and our clients are happy, I'm pretty quick all the time to go, hey, got any friends in Houston?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a way to do it. Yeah. To pick it up. What other ways could you ask?
I saw something that I saw is like someone's tagged as a realtor, but their sort of tag on
We got more
their
paper,
email
dude.
is that, like, the
We got
best
tons more
compliment
paper.
that you can give
Keep
us
it
is a good
consolidated.
referral. So I typically respond with that, or when someone talks about passing the name along, it's kind of like a lot of gratitude for that, especially if it's a good referral. Sometimes someone's like,
So do you want to catch them when they're feeling good about you, or when they're feeling, maybe it could have gone. You don't know.
Well,
of course you want to when it's
but
good.
if you ask them when they're not feeling good about it, at least you can start a conversation as to what they might think
Correct.
went wrong.
Well, I think he's going with the survey, and that's his way of finding out if somebody's wrong. The other
and
thing,
giving them a voice.
Because
when people
In the
get
privacy
on,
of their own comfort zone.
yeah, when people get on like Yelp or whatever, and they want to sort of become an armchair critic, and there's really no, they're not actually looking you in the eye and calling you a son of
Do
a
you
bitch.
find that they're talking about you on Yelp?
I've never had. It's
I thought
never
you
happened
said it,
to
I
me.
was going,
well, you
I've been
can.
checking Yelp.
By the way, when you're asking for a review, ask for what you want. Remember, back to the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Ask for a 5-star review. Ask them that exact when they're happy with you and they've got everything. Said, would you mind going out and give us a 5-star review on house?
Yeah, because they might give you 4 stars just because.
Yeah. Just get that 5-star in their head. Would you?
Yeah.
Would you mind going out and give us? Could you please go out and give us a 5-star review on house?
And then
Because reviews are the new sort of.
Yeah.
They're
That's how
Yeah,
you track
it's
things.
like
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's like-
Yeah.
I see a
Well,
guy
I
I
with
don't know
a
if
review,
before,
and
if
a
you
guy
guys
with
buy
19.
online or
I'm gonna
anything,
think
but I
about
always
19.
check reviews before I.
Yeah, most people
post
check
it.
reviews
I
now.
always do.
And I disregard a bad review if there's a lot of reviews, and the majority of them are good.
Well, I
Because there's
check
always going to be
sales,
somebody
and then I check how
who's
Yeah.
many reviews
voice
they
their
have,
opinion is
and-
unsatisfied.
Yeah, but you have to be careful.
But if
with
you have
your-
like one review and it's a bad one,
Or if you have one review and it's good, I can't guarantee that wasn't your mom.
Yeah, if you got 20, I mean, if you got 20 reviews and one's a little bit crummy, then they're human, and that people,
Exactly.
yeah, people
you
like
look
that.
past it.
Yeah. You know, if you got 3 or 4, you better deal with it. You better figure it out. Okay, you know to get on it and figure out what's wrong and fix it, because that can kill you in a hurry. All right. What else? Any other learnings? Thinkings? Anything? All right. Everybody's good? All right. Well, what I want to actually do is get some specific, what are you going to do to get more referrals over this next quarter? What are the actual steps that you're going to, everybody understand the difference between a strategy and a tactic? Okay, the tactic is just busted down pieces to a strategy. Okay, you just break them down and you're just chunking them down into smaller things. So the strategy might be, so for Smith's strategy is he wants to get a complete, like a house completion follow-up strategy and referral system. We'll call it that. Okay, so first step is, you know, design the survey or design the flow chart for what you want to happen. Second step is design the survey. The third step is write the system for what you're going to do with the survey. What are the answers? You know, how are you going to handle each little, like the flow chart for the whole thing. The third step is, you know, create the artifacts to go. You know, create the list of everything that needs to go in a packet. Okay. By the way, this took about 20 minutes. I had everything on the shelf except the cards, and I had to print them, and then I screwed that up. But by the way, done is better than perfect. I'd rather have the cards in your hands with a little bit of handwriting on them, and and I can correct the other later. Don't worry about getting these kits perfect. Get something out there. None of this stuff actually matches. I don't know how. It actually looks pretty good with the yellow and the yellow, but that was an accident. I didn't plan any of it. I'm in the middle of doing some branding, and this is 3 different stuff all thrown together.
Cleaning your shelf off.
Looks. Well, I mean, the books aren't doing me any good. They should be in your hands anyway. You know, they're not. They need to be in the hands of people who can use them. They don't need to be sitting around. They're all going to be updated eventually. So what I want you to do is actually on your referral strategy, like what is the strategy you're going to do, and then I want you to chunk it down. Now you can do that a number of ways. You can just make a list, or you can use Post-it notes to, you can get over here on a wall. You can write down all the things you want to do, and then you can try to get them in order on the wall, and then take a picture of it, and then you'll have your plan for what you want to do. All I did on this, all this is a calendar. I've got one of these for everybody, by the way, to write down, to get it calendared. I just don't want to do that yet. I want you to get the steps chunked down. What did I do with it? Maybe I printed them out and didn't bring them. That would be interesting. They're in here somewhere. Yeah, there they are. Yeah. I'll put them in with the other stuff. So what are the steps? What is the strategy, and then what are the steps you need to do? What is one strategy? Just pick one. How could you get more referrals this quarter? One strategy. How could you get more?
Ask for them from past happy clients.
Great. So what does that look like?
Contacting our past clients first.
Yeah. What do you need to do? How are you going to make it easy for them? What are you going to? What are the actual steps?
Call them or email them.
Right. Yeah. Are you going to take them to lunch? Are you going to do it? By the way, what could you do? How are other ways that let's have a little bit of a discussion before you get into this. How are other ways could you refer people? Yeah.
Wait, how could we refer or ask for referrals?
How could you refer other people? I mean, let's say you were trying to refer people to me. How could you do it?
Well, online.
Through casual conversation with somebody who's talking about their business woes.
Right. You could do that. You could give them the cards. You could bring them to one of these things. You could say, let's go have lunch with Bill. You could get 5 people together and say, hey, look, I'm gonna have Bill come in and teach you about how to get more referrals. You could, what I want to get y'all doing is think about what you can do with your clients. That's just some ideas for me. What I want you to do is get you thinking about how you can do it for your clients. So in other words, if you built a house for somebody and they're totally happy, could you get them to have a party for 20 of their friends and you host it? Could you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you have the guys from Houston? Yeah. Could you go to Houston and have and you could take the realtor with you from a development, and could you go to Houston and have a bunch of oil executives come in for some beer and steaks and whatnot and sit around, and you could do a presentation on the development and show them their house.
I've pitched to Ken Bowden and Joe Dellinger, take me on your junket when you go to D.C., when you go to Houston.
Right.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
To put on a display for Boston.
Would it be worth it for you to go and do a thing with the development to get them to come in? Would it might be even beneficial to get other people that do the same thing you do and take a whole crowd of people? Give them three builders and a couple of architects, and and everybody go together and have a big time. And would that be useful for everybody? Could you get
Yeah.
And you'd be getting referrals from somebody else because there's already somebody in there who's hosting the party who's happy with everything.
Yeah.
So my point is, we're not thinking big enough about how to. We're not doing the work that we need to get the referrals. So what could you do? So just off the top of your head, Andy, what could you do with somebody who already knows, likes, and trusts you that could bring us some business?
Well,
everybody's sitting there
so
right now going,
let me think here.
66 people.
Two of my
Hang on a minute. Let's listen to this because this could be useful.
Well, 2 houses right now are referral houses, and then one was it was not a referral. It was marketing. It was website and files and Facebook and stuff like that. So out of those 2 referrals, one was a sister, so that was easy to get. She was the first sister was happy, so the second sister, there's obviously no shopping, just straight signed up. The other referral, though, came from a strategic partner. The architect passed it down.
Perfect.
And we bid and were awarded the project. So, I think for us, it's potentially a little bit more difficult because we're not dealing with the volume. Like you guys are talking about 4 big projects in a year.
Yeah.
Well,
you're going to do 4 projects in a year.
Well, and I think there's a limitation with how often.
Where are we now? 45 million? We're going to do more than 4 projects.
Well, Sean was talking about 4 big projects a year,
4 to 6
like
houses,
one a quarter or something like that, right? So, I think you have to be really careful with how often you go pulling that referral card in with those people. It's like, I think you have to slip it in strategically in different ways. Like maybe it's a holiday card that says, hey, haven't talked to you in 6 months, I hope everything's going well.
If they're giving you the right referral, they're not giving you volume, they're giving you the right one. So that's sort of error.
Well, here's the deal.
It's little things. It's
I believe
a call, just to check in and say, hey, just while I got you on the phone, if you know anybody who's looking for a good architect.
Well, let's just say, for example.
It's casual.
Yeah, let's just say, for example, that's great. That's perfect.
It's friendly, it's casual. There's a purpose behind the real communication, and then the referral piece is subtle.
Yeah, here's what I'm
tasteful at the end.
Here's what I'm hearing is you're scared you're gonna get too much business.
Yeah, that's always a possibility.
Yeah, we'll deal with that.
General contractor, I think you worry about getting too much business because recruiting and staffing is so challenging.
Yeah, I mean, then it gets back to the other thing. Well, great, how could you? Because I mean, what would you do? I've thought about this.
I agree with your statement.
I've thought about
There's
this.
A fear factor.
I've thought about so I have a thing that says,
if you sign a new contract and you're busy for the next 12 months, and I call you and I say I've got a $3 million house that they want me to give them one name of a builder.
You're going to say yes.
Yeah, you figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm going. So I want you. It's the same with referrals. Always be asking. Always. Always, because you never know when that,
Figure it out.
you never know when a game-changing client is going to show up. I mean, if you could go, I mean, we've talked about this. If you had a guy and it was teed up for you, and it was a $3.5–4 million house, you got to do it.
You figure it out.
Yeah, you got to do that, because that changes your whole game.
Yeah,
That's a game changer for your business.
But
Okay.
question, would you be willing to sacrifice a few referrals from those people who are of less value for that one big job?
Then you give them to somebody else. You pass those.
You help somebody else, or you sub it out. You say, hey, look,
Smith, and you go.
I can't. Yeah, well, that's
are you doing, Smith?
that's true. I got one for you, Smith. Just throw me a bone sometime. Here's one for you.
Well, actually, just sitting here, we realized we're both talking to one of the same people. We just realized here
Oh, really?
today. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
There you go.
yeah.
Which is great because again, it's like, well,
Now you know your competition.
Yep, we know our competition, and you don't necessarily, if one person or the other is getting the project, then you're not, get them off your prospect, get them off there. They don't need to be there if they're not a prospect. Figure it out quick, and move on.
Well, it's sort of like you can always say Smith's a good builder, and he can say Andy's a good builder. Either way, you're fine. If I'm not going to build your house, get him. It's
Can't go wrong.
So
quit wasting time making a decision. Pick one of us roll.
Yeah. Pick one. We got business. We got work to
What do
do.
you do when they really wanted you to do the job?
They should have hired you in the first place.
Well, what if, well, I'm still in that same scenario. What if they had hired you, and then he comes in with his $3 million client, and then you pass them on, but they're still, even though you're handing in.
No, you're going to figure that one out. The game changer, they're going to do that job.
Yeah.
Even if he's slammed, he's going to figure it out. He's going to.
If you're under contract, you do what you got to do.
Yeah, once you're under contract, you don't screw around with those.
You make it happen.
Yeah, you make that happen. Yeah.
I know a real estate agent who, whenever somebody moves into a house, she gives them the pie. And then Thanksgiving, she goes back and gives everybody who she's ever sold a house to a pie. And that's like her way of getting referrals, because sure enough, right after those pies go out at Thanksgiving, the phone starts ringing. And so it's just like, it's what you were saying, it's subtle, it's not a huge but it's also kind of the continuing thank you for your business and
the cost of a pie.
Yeah, gratitude marketing is huge, by the way. If you're not, part of your referral strategy that you have is, how are you going to thank the people? They gave it, what is the thank you system of mine? Mine is, you get this card with the lunatic raving fans on it, and it says, thanks for the thing, go take your wife somewhere or husband, and then it has 2 more referral cards on it that says, pass them along, get more, go out to dinner all the time.
And it's also a system. So there's I think that's part of the main reason it works, is because
Look, I used to do
exactly when she's going to be giving out the
I used to, and it's interesting. I think for me, and then for you got to look at your business, but in my business, a thank you gift is nice. I think if it looks too much like a commission or something, then nobody does it. I mean, they might as well be on the payroll. Then you might as well say, okay. And I do have some people that, if they, that do get paid, that's how they work. It's part of their job, sort of, to sell. So yeah, Jim, if he brings me somebody, he's going to get commission. That's just how he's built. He's a commission sales guy. And so, and that works for me and works for him. So, but that's a different arrangement than a straight up referral from clients and strategic partners that I'm talking about mostly. So you should have a system that could work for both of those. So back to, what are you going to do? What is your strategy? What is one strategy you're going to do, and then how are you going to chunk it down into the actual steps that you have to do, and then we're going to calendar those steps. That's where we're going with this. So that you have an actual plan to get referral strategies in place over the next quarter in your business that you're not doing now. Does that make sense? So what's your actual strategy, and then then chunk it down into the steps, And if it's only 3 steps, that's okay. Write another strategy to get more referrals somehow. So maybe one of your referral strategies is, you know, past clients. Great. How are you gonna? What's your strategy? You know, what are you gonna chunk down? What are you gonna do for them? Maybe it's strategic partners. Well, what's your strategy? You know, what is your? You know, what do you need to do there? It's not just, there should be, you probably should have 8 or 10 referral strategies. I'm trying to get you to get something. I mean, could everybody here use another job between now and the end of the year?
Absolutely.
Somehow.
Yep.
Get it on your books. Well, that's what the goal is. How can we get one more job for the big guys? How can we get one more job between now and the end of the year? You know, for me, it's, you know, how can I get a few new clients? Actually, about 10 would be good. But we'll start with a couple. So who's got one they want help with?
What if you're not seeking a client as much as you are an advertiser?
Those are clients. They're paying you money.
Yeah, but there's not like a service at the end of that outside of the presentation inside the bill.
Yeah, well, what do they want?
They want exposure.
No, they want money. They want that. They want them to bring.
Sales.
They want sales.
They want those ad dollars to convert into sales.
Correct. They don't want exposure. They want money.
They want referrals.
Yeah, they want people to come to them. So, and whatever it is, so you got to give them. You got to show them how that's going to work. So let's get one down, and then we'll go through one and make sure everybody's understands what I'm talking about, chunking it down. So then you can put it on a calendar.